Welcome to Apartment Syndication Made Easy podcast, where we simplify the world of syndication. Join us as we unravel the complexities and provide you with valuable insights to help you invest smartly. Get ready to take your investments to the next level, one episode at a time. Here's your host, Mr. Vinney Smiles Chopra.
Hi there, guys. This is Vinney Chopra back again. Thank you for liking all the content you're getting from my team and myself every day, every single day. Our podcast, new clips, new reels, new things are coming. YouTube, they're loading over there. Instagram, Twitter, you name it. And Facebook, everywhere. And my two books, Apartment Syndication Made Easy, Positivity Brings Profitability. My third book is almost out, which is the Senior Living Investing Made Easy. And thank you for the two live shows I do at 9 a.m. Abundance Mindset with Vinney Chopra. I hope you're catching it in 16 channels. And also my show, Vinney and Bo Show, Las Vegas and Bay Area, actually. We do it together on 9 a.m. on Friday mornings. Thanks again. I've got great guest speakers with me. They are amazing people from where? Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. I love the energy. I love everything about that. And the brother, I'll be coming there. So Anthony Faso, CPA, and Cameron Christiansen are in the house with me, right here in my backyard, actually in gazebo. And the good part is they are the founders of Infinite Wealth Consultants and hosts of the Infinite, right there, you see it in the background, Wealth Podcast, a proud U.S. Army veteran and a self-described, recovering CPA. Recovering, hold on. I need to dig into that. And Anthony has worked at the world's largest accounting firms and served as CFO of a chain of restaurants. However, after 2008 recession, hold on, we are going through a recession right now. So I'm going to ask some questions. And, they realized that the solution in financial freedom would be never found in in the Wall Street, which I believe that 25 years I've been believing in that. Real estate is the name of the game, and we're going to dig into a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about reasons, typical financial advice, flat out wrong for most of the investors. We'll talk about $1 million mistake, why you should never pay cash for the real estate. And we'll also talk about what's infinite or infinity. I know I've heard different banking, structures. Sometime I've had some other guests on. And then what's financial freedom and how to achieve it. Brother, and it's so good to have you, both of you. So let's get you started. Who are you? Tell us, what's your superpower?
Why don't you start? Cameron's superpower is his hair. But
it looks good, Vinny. This lighting is not doing it justice, I'll tell you that.
Hey, I'm looking all right too.
hey, Vinny, my name's Cameron Christiansen, right? Yes, I'm one of the co-founders of Infinite Wealth Consultants. And if you had to put us in a box, we're a financial advisory firm. We've been in kind of the infinite banking space for the last 13 years. But really kind of my background is I was a small business owner out here in Las Vegas, and I was looking for investment opportunities and planning opportunities for myself. I didn't have an HR department to turn to. And so I started looking at all available options. And Vinny, really the theme of most of the opportunities that were available for me at the time was to put my money away and come back for it when I was 59 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those IRAs, they are the worst things anybody could do it. Brother, in my lifetime, I've been here from India for 46 years. I put not zero. No. I have maybe $1 million or so. But, I don't believe in IRAs and 401ks. I don't. So I'm glad we are talking the same language. Yeah.
Amen, Vinny. I couldn't agree with you more. But at the time, right, that was the advice that I was getting. And I felt like I was the outlier. I felt like I was the weird one that was like, man, this seems like a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. And so to be honest, Vinny, I didn't do anything. I just sat on cash for a number of years until I came across a book. It's called Become Your Own Banker.
And, hey, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Actually, I think somebody from my town, Danville, California, where I live, he was there cracking the code was another name for it, actually. He lived in my town. Yeah.
It very, very well could be. Is Nelson Nash is the gentleman that wrote that book. But when I read that book, it absolutely changed my approach to my personal finances. And really, that's how I got into the financial advisory industry, was taking that information, sharing it with other with other business owners that I knew, and starting to implement that. And so I've been in this space for the last 13 years.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Our brother, Anthony. Yeah.
Well, let's just be clear. I've been in this space 13 years in a day, right? Just a little bit longer, Cameron. Okay,
that's why I wanted to go first. I was wondering why you let me.
Yeah. But thank you for that detailed background. I mean, I'm a self-described recovering CPA, had my own CPA firm. And then when 2008 happened, I saw my clients, their 401k turned into a 201k.
Yes, right? Yes.
Equity of their house dropped in half. I mean, to me, what got me the most was it was no fault of their own. It's one thing if you make bad financial decisions, you need to reap what you sow, right? But when you're following the advice from Wall Street and CPAs, and what happens in Wall Street affects you, like, to me, that is broken. And to be honest, it scared me because I saw what my clients were doing. And I'm like, I remember there was a 70-year-old client came in literally in tears, like, Anthony, I did everything I was supposed to do. And now you're telling me I need to go back to work when unemployment's double digits. Who's going to hire me when they can hire a younger person? And
at much lower cost.
That, there's a recession. We even went and looked back. There's been a recession every decade since the 1900s. Now, and what I kind of now there wasn't one in this last decade.
Yes. It was a long one. The bull was 13 years bull, 14-year bull, which is the longest bull ever. You're right.
Yeah, but I think the government's been prolonging that with the stimulus and printing money. So I realize if this happens every 10 years, unless I do something different, why would I expect a different result? So that to me kind of took the blinders off, because as a CPA, our superpower is telling you to put money in a 401k or IRA so you get that tax savings today, right? And we don't realize what we're really doing is we're kicking that tax can down the road.
That's so true.
Now we're paying at a potentially much higher rate, and in between we don't have access to that money. But what I saw is I had some clients that didn't get punched in the gut during 2008 and 2009. They actually thrived. And that's just like, man, what books are you reading? What's your mindset? What assets are you buying? And it was very different than what I was told by typical financial planning. So that's when I, reread Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? And his goal, right? Yeah. It isn't to build this high net worth. So when we're in our 60s, we can enjoy our 401k. It's like, we want our passive income to be more than our monthly expenses, right?
Exactly.
And typical financial planning can't do that. 401ks can't do that. You need to buy assets that create that passive income, like apartment buildings or
hotels,
real estate,
storage units.
Hotels, senior living facilities.
Senior living, brother. Let's talk about that. Vinney is on a big mission to do $1 billion in this decade in senior living. And I know I'm going to do it. I hit my first billion with the with the apartments and hotels. Now it's the time, for senior living, because as you all know, there's so much demand. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, to be honest, unfortunately, my mom lives in senior living and in memory care. And man, it is difficult going through that with your parent and then trying to find a facility that's going to take care of mom appropriately is very difficult. And it ain't cheap, Vinney, which I think you know that. But
it's not cheap, brother. It's not cheap. I mean, I'm selling my services in Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, Williamsburg for $4,300 a month, including everything. That's ridiculous. But I think for maybe 6,000 or 6,500 for memory care. But in California, where I live, it's $15,000 a month. 15,000. So you're right. And 33% of the senior livings are old and dingy and bad smelling and all that stuff. So that's why I'm on a big mission. Everybody listening to me right now, guys, hey, we do this show for you because so that you can get excited about getting into. My friends are here with Infinity Banking and why we should invest and how should we invest and how to really, and senior living is my new crescendo, new message I'm spreading all over USA and across the world. That's where we need to be. Now go ahead. So please tell me a little bit more if you were to explain to my audience what's Infinity Banking or Infinite Consulting. Yeah.
Well, it's infinite. It's the infinite banking concept, often called infinite banking or IBC. Right. And, this is how, there's an infinite ways to use this, right? But what we specialize is infinite banking for investors. And what we found with most investors, they're setting some money aside somewhere, cash where it's safe and liquid, right? They build it up, and then when an opportunity comes, they withdraw the money and buy the asset. Right. That asset, if we're buying apartment buildings and senior livings, it should be producing some passive income.
Yes.
You got to put it somewhere. So we put it back into that bank, and then we build up more to buy another asset. And with that cash flow, we put that back into the bank. We call this the cash cycle of investors. And
okay, let me kind of cut through the chase. Yeah. So isn't it whole life insurance with a different perspective where it is paying the premiums and you're able to take money out after 3 to 5 years or something? But first couple of years, you have to work hard to build that nest egg, the bank, which you call. Isn't that true?
Partly true, right? And with our investors, they got to put their money somewhere, and they look for safe and liquid, right? They don't want to lose it, and they don't want to lose an opportunity. So what they typically use is a bank, right, to store that money. And as we're seeing
0.15% or whatever, and lose money, and Silicon Bank just went bankrupt. And
exactly. This just showed the volatility in the banking system. Yeah. And for the simplest terms, what we're saying is you got to hold your capital somewhere. Now, one option, which we believe is a better option, is because if we can design a specially designed whole life policy, it's not your typical whole life. We're trying to minimize death benefit and maximize cash value. And the way we design it, you can get access to your money 30 days once you set up your policy. We don't need to wait 3 years. And there's ways to design it where it can be very efficient. We have some clients that are putting in a large chunk, turn around, and they're able to take almost all of it back out.
Hold on. Talk to me then. Okay. Please talk to me. If I give you 200,000, how much is the commission that I lose, or what's the load? And then how much money can I take it out in 30 days to invest into my real estate? Please tell me.
Okay. All right. Well, you're sitting down, right? Which I see you're sitting down. Okay. All right.
Very nicely.
Vinny's right to the chase. He's not messing around.
I would say it's going to depend on a couple factors, but I would say what we've been able to do with a lot of clients, if they put in to do this design, we need like maybe $100,000 or more, or higher. Yeah. But we could put in that year 250, right? And you could borrow at the end of year one, you're going to have close to 250 in your account. So the loss.
No, you said 100 is minimum. Yeah. So if I put $250,000 into this whole life, whatever it is, and it's going to give me 250 to withdraw.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think I was using two different numbers, right?
Yeah,
I started with 100, then you said 250. So I used 250, but let's just stick with the 100 because it's more round.
Let's do
I can do this way. Cameron can follow along with the math. Okay.
And my followers too, they are very sharp and they are entrepreneurs. They are business people. They are in Silicon Valley. Lots of them are Indians like me. Good Jews, and all kind of really great people, but they try to sift through everything and see what makes sense and what doesn't.
Sure. And a lot of what we design, if you put in that 100 grand in year one, you could borrow by the end of year one, you're going to have close to 100 grand. So we have very little loss of liquidity, and we need to leave a little bit inside the policy, kind of as like a minimum balance per se. But we're able to borrow to deploy probably between 90 and 93%.
Okay.
But here we got to talk about the why, right? Because right, and it's not about the death benefit. Let's just put that death benefit. Let's just set it on top of Cameron's beautiful hair.
Just right? Here, I'll hold it. Because
Now, because what we're really trying to do is just replace the bank.
Okay.
Right. So what the policy needs to do is it needs to outperform a bank. Now, these policies are looking at paying around 4% annualized.
Oh, 4. Okay.
4. But that's tax free.
Yeah. So if you're in 50% bracket like me, 44% bracket. So now we are talking that, that 4% is equal to 8%. But in my situation, it's a little different because I've got 9 million losses through my depreciations and other stuff, just like President Trump, right? He never paid taxes. So being the sponsors of lots of, not everybody's in that shoe, but the thing is, those people who have a lot of losses carrying forward, you never have to pay taxes ever. But this one, you're right. If it's 4% gain for your 100,000, for somebody like me who does not have real estate losses, that will be about 8%, 50% bracket.
I'm going to tell you, Vinney, and it gets better. Okay. It gets better because one of the reasons why we use life insurance is depending on each state has some level of asset protection. Like in the state of Nevada, the cash value of my policy is 100% protected from creditors.
I see.
So if I get sued, which I'm sure a lot of your listeners are high net worth, which means they're a high target, but they can put their money in here and it's protected from lawsuits. Again, each state's a little different, but it's protected from lawsuits and it's liquid. And here's the best part is when we're using a bank and let's say we withdraw that 100 grand to buy an apartment complex, right? We break the compound interest curve, right? We stop earning money on that 100 grand, right? Well, using life insurance, we have some options. We could withdraw it like we would using a bank, or we could leverage against it, meaning we don't take the 100 grand out of don't do a withdrawal, take that 100 grand as a loan, and we take that and buy the property. Now, what'll happen is then we do need to pay interest back on that loan.
Yes.
But that, if we use it for an investment purpose, like we're doing, the interest on that loan is tax-free. I'm sorry, is tax deductible.
It's tax deductible, and we could certainly give as low as 4%, I was told, or 5%.
Yeah.
How much is the payment back? It's up to us. Is that right?
Totally up to you, because here's what is cool about this is when you get money, it's fully collateralized by your cash value. When you get a loan, they don't ask you what it's for. They don't run your credit, and they don't ask you how you're paying it back. What they will ask
because it's your money.
Is how much and where do you want the check sent? So
I love it.
Our goal is, if you have an opportunity to put the money to work, you need to put it to work. But in between deals, it's got to sit somewhere, or maybe we're saving up for the next deal where we got to store it somewhere. So let's put it in the policy. And we don't technically, you don't have to make a repayment to that loan. However, we do encourage people to do that. And the main reason is we pay that interest and it's tax deductible, but we got to pay it to get the tax deduction. So
I see. Got you. So you get the loan at 4% or 5%. No, you're making 4%, as I understand now, 100,000, but in about end of the year, and you pay lump sum 100,000, brother? Or do you pay like divide that by 12? Say if people can pay every month, savings, whatever, and now it's 100,000. So now you won't be able to get 93,000 away. Or would you be? January 1.
What I would say that there's a lot of different ways that we can design it, whether we do it ongoing, which is what a lot of our investors do, but also a lot of our investors are sitting on cash. So
They just want to give 100,000 right away.
Yeah, we just move it from a bank account into a policy. So if we do an ongoing premium, the design is going to be different, right? Okay. So, but to maximize kind of what you're doing, Vinney, and have the minimal loss of liquidity, doing like a large lump sum, or what we call it a one and done, because you make that one deposit and that's it.
So what kind of insurance companies do you underwrite with? That's the question some other people ask me.
That's an important question.
Yeah.
Oh, there's many insurance companies that are out there. And so part of our process each year is we'll go out there and we will conduct kind of a overview of certain companies that fit the criteria. Real quickly, Vinney, are you asking for the criteria that we use to vet them, or are you asking for like specific companies?
Companies. Yeah. Okay. A++ or B+ or whatever, right? Just like they're given.
Yeah. So what you're referring to there is rating agencies, right? There's third-party rating agencies that go out there and they rate certain insurance companies. Some of the criteria that we're going to look for with the company is we're going to make sure that it's a mutual company. Yeah. We're going to make sure that they paid a dividend, right? As long as they've been in business.
I love the word mutual because it's a nonprofit or something. Is that right? Because you are in business with them or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea of mutual, right, is that the profits at the end of the year, right, doesn't go just to the select few shareholders. It actually gets paid back out to the policy owners.
Exactly. I'm a life agent, by the way. I don't know if I told you. I should disclose right now to everybody, even though I have a license in California, I just wanted to learn this business, brother. Vinney, he's got so much time on his hand. I went and got the license. I passed through all the tests, and now I know everything behind everything. With the world, what is called? World something. They got how many thousands of consultants. So one of my good friends said, Vinney, hey, let's talk about it. And I just got intrigued anyway. Just to see that, but I don't sell any securities, guys. I want to let you know. No insurance. I don't sell that. I have license. I'm also a broker, California broker, registered broker, real estate. I don't sell or buy, but I became broker in 2005. I still carry that license. I go through my qualifying every 4 years, but I just love to be able to have the knowledge so that I can give good opinions is the word. I don't give legal opinions. Anyway, so let's dig into, how can people reach you and what 3 things you will tell the audience why they should come to you rather than somebody else. Because there are a lot of people out there who are doing infinity banking.
They can reach us at infinitewealthconsultants.com.
Okay.
Right? That's our website. We've got all of our resources there. We'll get it to you so you can put it in the show notes.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I would say as far as a reason why they should reach out to us or consider us is that if I'm really honest with you, Vinney, is there's a lot of people out there that are practicing and educating clients the wrong way.
Tell me why. Tell me 3 things they're telling wrong.
I would say they're over promoting the returns on the policy, right?
Okay.
We're more conservative. People might say 5 or 6. Well, I'm calling BS. I mean, we got to look at the math.
Four.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? Oftentimes it can get more than that, but we'd rather, under deliver, under promise and
under promise, over deliver,
and
right?
over deliver,
right?
right?
Yes.
And sometimes people don't train, they don't teach this right.
Yeah.
Or they tell people where you could pay your groceries or you could run your living expenses through that. Technically you can, but you're not really getting much of a benefit. And to do this right, you need to use a whole life policy. There's people out there that want to use an index universal life.
Yes, I know.
There's a lot more volatility in that. That's more of an investment. A whole life is more of a savings. And when our investments are going to be the apartment complexes, the senior living. Like those are the investments. We need to keep our savings safe. So it needs to be in whole life.
Got it.
Another thing I'm going to add on there, Vinney, is that if somebody's going to consider infinite banking, is they need to work with somebody that is doing it themselves, right? Somebody that's been in. There's a lot of people that are out there that are just kind of regurgitating what somebody has told them. There's a lot of information, right? I've been doing it one day longer than Anthony, so 26 years plus 2. But right so that's just experience as far as kind of having done it firsthand, being able to share somebody and walk them through the steps. So that's probably what we bring to the table there.
And I would say, Vinney, this is all we do. All we do is infinite banking for investors. We're not doing obviously IRAs or 401ks, right? But we're not doing annuities. We're not doing our goal when we started this firm is we wanted to be one of the best in the country about infinite banking. In order to do that, we had to be a specialist. We can't chase these shiny coins or chasing dollars. Let's just be an expert in one thing.
I love that. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you liked the content of today. My friends were here. And the key thing is, remember, you got to really make hay with your savings. Don't put it in 401ks. If you do, put it into self-directed IRAs and 401ks and invest that money into real estate or do infinity banking. I think that will come as not a Roth, right? Can you put money from the Roth money also? No. It has to be cash.
Directly.
It has to be cash.
You have to do a withdrawal. But
no problem. No, thank you so much. I hope you like the content. Share the content. And again, if you're investing, I'm working on my $100 million fund right now. It's a diversified fund, 506c fund. I can talk about it. I can do, spinning on it. I can do advertising on it. And I wrote the book, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. From $7, I came into this country to $1 billion AUM right now, and going to my next billion in senior living and hotels. So thanks for watching. Last comments. What would you like to say, Anthony and Cameron? It's your stage.
I would say that what I would tell your listeners, we need to take action. You're listening to this podcast, you're getting some information, check out the books. Obviously, maybe check out our podcast and so forth.
Why not? Yes.
Education is part of it, but you got to put what you learned into action. So don't be afraid to take action.
I love that. Thank you. It's wonderful.
What I would add on there, Vinney, is that if somebody's out there and this is the first time listening or hearing about whole life insurance and infinite banking, is what I would tell them is to take the time, do your own research, and separate the fact from opinion. There's a lot of opinions out there around whole life insurance. And if you take the time to look at how that product performs and the way that you can design it, man, it's going to be a great, great resource for somebody.
I will tell you one thing that nobody ever told me, that I can get 93% out in 1 year after I gave 100,000. That's amazing. And again, I'm sure there are some stipulations and all. I would really suggest everybody to please reach out to my friends. They're in Las Vegas, if you're nearby, and go and look at their Infinite Wealth podcast and YouTube channel. Probably you have, and also on LinkedIn and everywhere. We'll put the show links right below. Please reach out to them and take action. That's what I believe in. I came here with little bitty but dream, but you got to take action. I mean, we just bought this hotel within 2 days in Scottsdale, just 2 days. Met with the seller, looked at the numbers, bought it. We had converted. Second day we went to the city to get the permits for this hotel that we don't even have it yet. So action is the key. And I'm ready to buy 9 more hotels. Anybody listening to me, if you tell me you have in Scottsdale, Old Town in Arizona, some good, solid name brand or non-name brand hotels, suites, reach out to me. I'm buying 9 of them there because my goal is 10 converted senior livings and a lot more in Arizona, which is the Mecca of senior living, and Florida and Virginia and Texas and Mississippi and St. Louis. Vinney is coming all over the place. So thank you, brothers. Really appreciate you. And, I will just say, we'll see you next time.
Thanks.